So a little history on this truck. Um, it's been transportation for uh, both of my brothers and myself. My dad had bought it and probably like 10 or 15 other cars at once from a guy, I'm going to guess, almost over 15 years ago. You know, maybe closer to 20 years ago, but I'm not 100% sure. I might have already been married. I can't remember. But, you know, some time ago, he sold everything else off. He kept a Dodge Polara. My dad was a Mopar guy, and kept this truck just to have something to, you know, take the trash off, was his words, you know. And so before he got it, the truck had been wrecked and fixed. It had a brown hood, cowl, and that fender over there, and the bumper I think might have been bent a little bit. But the original bumper was smushed because they had to cut the front horns off. Being an 87, it had welded on bumper brackets, so they cut those off and put bolt-on bumper brackets on it, you know, with another bumper. And like I said, the truck was transportation for several of us. This fender and door were still bent. You know, my oldest brother drove it for a while. My other brother, Tim, my middle brother, he drove it probably the longest, probably drove it first. He still lived near my parents. And then I ended up with it, you know, when I got laid off from a construction job, lost my company vehicle. You know, Mom said, "Oh, just come get that, you know, S10." So I drove it for a while. Just a good running truck, you know. The motor in it then was kind of tired. So during the time when I was driving it, the motor let go. So it sat for a little while, and then I traded around, got another motor, really good motor. Best 2.8 I've ever experienced in my life. So I put that in, drove the truck again. It was like a ton of power for a 2.8, and towed a race car with it some. So yeah, it was a good engine. My brother and I, Tim, my middle brother, we went on a road rally in this truck. I'm gonna guess probably 5 or 6 years ago. It was a New York to New Orleans in 5 days type of thing. You had all these checkpoints you had to do. It was what they call a beater rally. It was for, you know, beat up vehicles. This truck fit the bill perfectly. Although mechanically it's in great shape. You know, the motor ran good, transmission ran good, cold air conditioning. You know, so the trip was kind of easy for us. You know, some of the other people on the trip didn't quite have such amenities. But so I continued to drive the truck for a long time. The compressor went out. So the air went out one summer, right in the middle of summer. I didn't have time to fix it. Went and bought another car, drove that. So it sat for a little while I was driving another car. Then that car got wrecked. I drove this thing again for a couple of weeks till I bought my now truck. And it was like, you know, we need to do something with that. And when Drag Week 2018 came to the south, you know, we were super excited. We were kind of planning to do that. You know, timing wasn't good. It was almost time for it to start. And, of course, we didn't get in. We got on the wait list, but did not get in. So it kind of worked out better. And we decided, well, let's do it next year. Well, that's our plan. You know, so we're building toward that with this thing.